Yo, what's good, my peoples? It's your boy Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to give you people another WWE review. So tonight we're reviewing WWE SmackDown. Friday nights, was it November 29th, 2013. First thing I'll talk about with the show is we get our interview with Randy Orton and Renee Young. She's interviewing Randy Orton. She's basically asking him about the things that happened on Survivor Series in Monday's Night Raw, and basically asking him the things about what the authority's doing and what John Cena's doing, and he basically says generally nothing about him. I don't remember anything from this promo that was like, okay, yes, this gives more to the story or anything. She asks him a series of questions at the end, and he just does nothing but walk away and leave the ring. So I didn't like that they did this in ring. It was kind of weird because you had the crowd, out there with them doing this. So you got to see their no reaction to this whole segment, and two, it did nothing to push forward the story at all. So yeah, next we get yeah, that was a poor segment. Next, we get a match with Mark Henry versus Curtis Axel. You had Biggie Langston out there for Mark Henry, and you had Ryback out there for Curtis Axel. A pretty okay match. One of the highlights from the match was seeing Ryback go and attack Biggie Langston on the outside, and then after you had a segment where Mark Henry and Curtis Axel ends up going out to the outside, and you had Biggie Langston on the other side of Curtis Axel. You had Ryback come up to attack Biggie Langston, but Biggie gets the first hit off and actually I don't not a beat down, but that little clothesline he does with his chest, and he did that to Ryback and basically pushed him down hard. So you get that. Then Mark Henry ends up putting Curtis Axel back in the ring, slamming him a couple times. He does the little junkyard dog headbutt that he's been doing now, and does the world's strongest slam and ends up winning the match. So a pretty okay match here. The stuff on the outside made it a little bit more interesting. After the match was funny because you get Mark Henry is yelling at a kid in a fun way, just asking him, telling him that's what I do, having fun with him, and also like the camaraderie between Mark Henry and Biggie Langston. They're having a lot of fun with this, and it kind of like a mentor, student type thing. So that was very fun just to watch them two. World's strongest team, let's go. And I'm hearing that they may feud them two in the future, so that would be even more fun. After that, they go in. I don't know if it was after that, but they showed backstage segment where backstage they were doing a, what do you call it, a kind of a Thanksgiving feast. There's basically, they called it Vicky Guerrero was throwing a party, and it was called a Thanksgiving leftovers party. And you had all the superstars back there, and during it, one part, AJ Lee came back there, and she was telling her she didn't invite AJ Lee to this party because AJ Lee is going to start a food fight, and she didn't want any food fights at this party. And AJ Lee took some food and just left, so there was nothing to that. But the main thing of this segment was a food eating contest between Titus O'Neil and Great Khali, in which Titus O'Neil ends up winning because the Great Khali just flops down into his pie. And Vicky goes to tell Titus, for your prize, you get a match with Cesaro, and everybody's just like going crazy because they know that the big swing is going to happen, and Titus O'Neil just got crazy full of all this food. Another thing that happened was a backstage promo with R-Truth and Xavier Woods, basically talking about their Xavier Woods singles match that he had on Raw, and Brodus Clay came back there and was pissed off because Xavier Woods basically did a better entrance than Brodus Clay has done with that whole little music and stuff. So Brodus Clay, kind of a heelish right here, pissed off at Xavier Woods and pushes him into one of the lockers. So that was pretty interesting right here, and seeing Xavier Woods do that. Next we get a match with let's see what's their names. 3MB, who's calling themselves for this night. The Plymouth Rockers. All they did was just put on pilgrim hats and no promos, no nothing, versus El Torito and the Los Matadors. It's El Torito's first match. This segment was nothing. The El Torito and the Los Matadors win. That's all I care about to say about this. Let's see. We also get a match with Brodus Clay and Tenzai versus R-Truth and Xavier Woods. An okay match here. Once Brodus Clay got in the ring, he just went furiously and started beating up everybody and ends up beating up and pinning Xavier Woods. So hopefully we get a heel turn coming from this. This is the only thing that made this match even tolerable. It's just that hopefully, it's a heel turn for coming out of this. And it also gives a little bit of a story to not only everybody in this match, really. It gives them a little bit of story of, Xavier Woods is doing something better than Brodus Clay. So hopefully it's something good comes out of this. We also get a match with Titus O'Neil and Cesaro. A quick match that was ended by disqualification because Cesaro started doing the Cesaro swing on Titus, and what's the boy's name? Darren Young ends up stopping it because he sees Titus getting more sick from the swing. And then Titus O'Neil's on the outside of the ring just looking like he's about to throw up, and he ends up throwing up into JBL's hat, then puts the hat on Michael Cole. That was funny, just seeing how disgusted Michael Cole and JBL was. And then Titus O'Neil goes and throws up on Zeb Culture, and they didn't really show him actually the vomit coming from his mouth. They blocked it off with a little plate with 2 turkey legs on it and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a pretty funny segment. Nothing much to it, basically filler. It was just funny to see Michael Cole and Zeb Culture basically get threw up on. So it's whatever. After that, we get kind of our main events. Oh, before that, these fucking Raw rebounds, man. That took up so much of the show again, dude. You got all this show. Do something here, man. Divas didn't have nothing tonight. You could have thrown a Diva segment here and got some advancement to their story and stuff like that. Because they're going to have something at TLC. And they're doing nothing with them right now. Nothing really happened with the U.S. title. Nothing happened with anybody else's story right now. So the only really good part of the show, only worth watching part of the show, was the Goldust and Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the tag team titles. A pretty cool little start off title match. You had Dean Ambrose on commentary, and that was pretty interesting. The match ends up ending with a DQ after Cody Rhodes goes and gets his finisher onto Seth Rollins, I believe, and Dean Ambrose hops in the ring and interferes, and then CM Punk runs out with a chair, hits Roman Reigns, and Vicky comes out and says this is going to turn into a 6-man tag match with the Rhodes brothers and CM Punk versus the Shield. During that match, you had the Wyatt family come out, interfere inside of their match, and when they came out, CM Punk was pissed off, and then he had to continue on to do his stuff. So you had the Wyatt family interfere in their match, and then Rey Mysterio comes out and helps the faces to try to get over on the heels, and Vicky comes out again and turns that into a 12-man tag match. So you had a lot of nice spots here, some good story character stuff here with the guys, and it ends up with Punk, Rhodes, Mysterio, and the Usos winning. I also forgot Usos also came out to help out as well. So you got all of them winning in the showdown, and yeah, it was a pretty cool little match here. A lot of good spots here. You got Punk's little neck breaker also combined with the DDT here. You got a CM Punk and Cody Rhodes did a double submission on Seth Rollins, I believe. You had a lot of character stuff here with Eric Rowan, who has a really nice bear hug that he's been doing, and he was doing it on Rey Mysterio, just throwing him around in a little bear hug and stuff like that. So that was really nice to see. And it was a lot of nice little spots here, and the end was very cool to see with Eric Rowan being held up for the GTS and pinned. So yeah, the end of the match was one of the only things that came this match, whole little match thing was the only thing that I necessarily cared about. Everything else was kind of filler. The stuff that happened at the beginning with what's his name, Big E and Mark Henry and stuff like that in their match was okay. The Titus O'Neil, Cesaro, and all the backstage stuff was okay, but it was crazy filler. It was something that I could have seen on Main Event or something like that, and been there instead of one of your flagship shows like SmackDown. So actually, to tell you the truth, I'll give this show like a D plus. I mean, what kept it from being an F is this main event. Everything else was either really short. The Raw rebound killed me. That was so long and it was badly put together. A lot of the other stuff was just it just didn't, like, the comedy stuff didn't have great comedic timing, and there was really nothing that furthered the story of anything tonight besides this last match, which really didn't further a story here. They did have a segment with CM Punk, and he was talking about where he was backstage and he was talking about what happened with Daniel Bryan and what happened, everything that happened on Monday night, and that is kind of confusing as well, because in a segment on the web, that little interview that Michael Cole does with Triple H, Michael Cole's asking where's Daniel Bryan, and they said they found him in a back parking lot, alone and beat up. And then when the Bray Wyatt family does a promo tonight, which also they did, they say that he's with them and that he's going to come back furious and stuff like that. So not a lot of things about wrestling confuses me, because it may be stupid story writing, but it doesn't really confuse me. This is the one thing that confused me, because I was like, okay, is he found? Did y'all find him, or is the Wyatt still have him, or did y'all find him and then he disappeared again? What is going on here? So it's kind of like their sections of the company don't know what's happening in their story and stuff. So yeah, that was very weird. And this reviews has been going on for a little bit of time. So yeah, I give this a D plus, man. It was a really good match at the end, some okay segments in there, but it was just like, oh my god, there was a lot of stuff in this show that was just bringing it down. But hey, this is that filler time of the year for WWE, so Rumble was only a couple weeks away, and plus we got TLC coming up, so it'll be over sometime soon, I mean. But yeah, you can find me on the line at BigChris145 or at Compton Animator. Like, subscribe, and comment here. I have a Tumblr down there. I post some work up there. I posted a drawing that I did quick, like a real quick sketch, like a 5-minute sketch that I did for the Raiders game that I did before the Raiders game, and I'm putting up some more art. I should have something up there tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Hope y'all stay safe out there with this Black Friday shit going on. And peace.